Welcome to History Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: we'll soon have the next piece of the puzzle on inflation and it'll impact whether interest rates go up. Mitch McConnell supports Biden's $106 billion request for Israel-Ukraine aid. Jack Anderson, longtime dance critic for The Times, dies at 88. Misleading, City of Sydney's first Aboriginal councillor calls for public statue overhaul amid truth-telling push. Betsy Rawls, winner of 8 golf majors, dies at 95. We'll soon have the next piece of the puzzle on inflation and it'll impact whether interest rates go up. ABC. The Reserve Bank of Australia, RBA, could be forced to raise interest rates next month if inflation data comes in higher than expected, according to analysts. The RBA's objective is to maintain inflation within a target range of 2 to 3%. If inflation rises above 1% in the September quarter, it would be more challenging for the bank to achieve its inflation target by the end of 2025. Rising inflation could also lead to inflation expectations becoming unanchored or uncontrolled, making it extremely difficult for the RBA to manage inflation. Some analysts have increased the risk of another rate hike from 40% to 50%. However, there are concerns that raising interest rates could put further pressure on Australian households already struggling with rental and interest payments, potentially leading to a higher risk of recession next year. The RBA will carefully consider the inflation data before making a decision at its November meeting. Mitch McConnell supports Biden's $106 billion request for Israel-Ukraine aid. Yahoo! Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has expressed his support for President Joe Biden's $106 billion aid package for both Israel and Ukraine. McConnell argued that the two countries are interconnected and that Ukraine's efforts to defend itself against Russia are beneficial for the U.S. He also suggested that a significant portion of the aid money would be spent in the U.S., helping to rebuild the country's industrial base. The aid package also aims to assist victims in Ukraine and the Gaza Strip, strengthen security in the Indo-Pacific region, and enhance security at the U.S.-Mexico border. Jack Anderson, longtime dance critic for The Times, dies at 88. New York Times. Jack Anderson, a dance writer for the New York Times for over 5 decades, has died at the age of 88. Anderson wrote around 4,000 essays, reviews, and articles for the publication and was known for his historian's knowledge and passion for new and surprising dance. He offered his own definition of dance in 1990, stating that anything a dancer does on stage is considered dancing, even if it does not involve virtuosic movement. Anderson was a supporter of modern dance and wrote about various dance genres, including tap and Japanese Kaijin dancing. Misleading, City of Sydney's first Aboriginal councillor calls for public statue overhaul amid truth-telling push. ABC. Yvonne Weldon, the first Aboriginal councillor in the City of Sydney's history, has called for a review of the city's statues as part of a push for truth-telling following the defeat of the Voice referendum. There are 25 publicly funded statues of the colony's early leaders around Sydney, including one of former NSW Governor Lachlan Macquarie. Weldon argues that the plaques attached to these statues feature inaccurate, misleading and offensive accounts of the feats of those commemorated. She is now calling for a review of the statues and for accurate descriptions to be provided. Betsy Rawls, winner of 8 golf majors, dies at 95. New York Times. Betsy Rawls, the American golfer who won 8 major golf championships, including 4 United States Women's Opens, in the first 2 decades of the LPGA Tour and, as an executive and tournament director, helped propel the arrival of the women's pro circuit as a big-money attraction, has died at the age of 95. Rawls was the first 4-time Women's Open champion, winning in 1951, 1953, 1957 and 1960, a record matched only by Mickey Wright, who captured her 4th Open in 1964. She won a total of 55 LPGA Tour events between 1951 and 1972. Her other major victories came at the Women's Western Open in 1952 and 1959 and the Women's PGA Championship in 1959 and 1969. She was a 3-time runner-up during the 1950s in the other major tournament of her time, the Title Holders Championship, and was among the 6 original inductees into the LPGA Tour Hall of Fame in 1967. She was also inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame. Soccer fans flocked to Old Trafford to pay tribute to Bobby Charlton following his death at age 86. Associated Press. Fans of Manchester United and other soccer teams gathered at Old Trafford to pay tribute to Bobby Charlton following his death at the age of 86. Supporters laid flowers and scarves outside the stadium and left messages in honor of Charlton. A wreath was also placed at the base of the statue of Charlton, George Best, and Denis Law. A book of condolence has been opened at Old Trafford, and a digital version has been created. Charlton was a legendary player for Manchester United and England, and he survived the 1958 Munich plane crash and helped United win the European Cup. He was also a member of England's World Cup winning team in 1966. How does AI think? We are only starting to understand that. Wall Street Journal. The sudden rise in AI for X startups suggests that the underlying AI technology is improving rapidly. These startups are applying existing AI systems to various industries or sectors, using generative AI and foundation models. Generative AI refers to AI systems that can produce human-like responses, images, or voices. Foundation models are massive systems trained on large datasets. However, while the current generation of AI systems is promising, they are not yet ready for prime time. Researchers are still working on understanding how these AI models work and unlocking their full potential. The development of a universal science of machine intelligence is underway, with computer scientists, mathematicians, physicists, neuroscientists, and engineers collaborating to gain insights into AI capabilities. One area of focus is large language models, which are a type of generative AI trained exclusively on text. There is evidence that these models are capable of reasoning to some extent, although there is ongoing debate about the extent of their reasoning abilities. Language is a powerful tool for building models of the world, and AI assistants that can personalize responses based on individual data are on the horizon. To further enhance AI capabilities, large language models can be connected to various services and databases available on the internet. This integration would enable AI systems to access a wide range of information and provide more reliable answers to questions. However, there are still barriers to overcome, such as the cost of running generative AI models and the need for continuous improvement and optimization of AI systems. Despite these challenges, the future of AI holds transformative possibilities, with AI experts in different domains and truly personalized AI assistants potentially becoming a reality. In conclusion, while AI technology is not yet fully mature, it is rapidly advancing. The development of a universal science of machine intelligence and the integration of AI systems with various services and databases are paving the way for transformative AI applications in the future. A home for the language, France prepares to open Museum of French. RFI. The Château de Villers-Cotterêts, a historic palace in France, is set to reopen as the Site International de la Langue Française, or International French Language Center. The palace, where King Francis I of France signed the decree that made French the country's official language, has undergone restoration work to transform it into a space dedicated to the French language and Francophonie. The new center aims to reflect on and value the French language, which is experiencing a deterioration due to the influence of English and digital technology. The center will feature exhibitions, language learning opportunities, and cultural events. Scientists in row over rare fossils flown into space. The Guardian. Scientists have criticized the decision to allow ancient hominin remains to be flown into space on a Virgin Galactic flight. The bones were taken from South Africa's Cradle of Humankind site and included a 2-million-year-old Australopithecus sediba collarbone and a 250,000-year-old Homo naledi thumb bone. 6 national and international bodies have since criticized the decision as callous, unethical, and reckless. Researchers have called for national and international regulations to be strengthened to prevent similar incidents in future. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite interdimensional observer, Dr. Six, reporting to you from the vibrant world of 6 degrees. Today, we've got a diverse range of news to discuss, from the potential impact of inflation on interest rates to the passing of influential figures in the arts and sports. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Six, your trusty guide through the vast web of interconnected news. Now, let's dive into the news. The Reserve Bank of Australia is keeping a close eye on inflation, as higher than expected numbers could lead to a rise in interest rates. This decision is crucial for the bank to achieve its inflation targets and manage the economy effectively. However, there are concerns about the potential consequences for Australian households already facing financial pressures. In the world of politics, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has expressed his support for President Biden's aid package for Israel and Ukraine. McConnell believes that supporting Ukraine's defense efforts against Russia benefits the United States, and he also sees opportunities for domestic economic growth through this aid package. Sadly, we bid farewell to 2 influential figures in the arts and sports. Jack Anderson, the renowned dance critic for the New York Times, has passed away at the age of 88. His passion for dance and his extensive knowledge will be dearly missed. Meanwhile, Betsy Rawls, the legendary golfer who won 8 major championships, including 4 US Women's Opens, has also left us at the age of 95. Both Anderson and Rawls made significant contributions to their respective fields and will be remembered for their remarkable achievements. In the realm of public discourse, Yvonne Weldon, the first Aboriginal councillor in the city of Sydney, is calling for a review of statues in the city. Weldon believes that the current plaques attached to these statues provide inaccurate and offensive accounts of the individuals they commemorate. This call for truth-telling and accurate representation is a crucial step towards reconciliation and understanding. Moving on to the world of technology, we explore the mysterious realm of AI. While AI technology is rapidly improving, researchers are still uncovering the secrets of how these systems work. The development of a universal science of machine intelligence is underway, with experts from various fields collaborating to unlock AI's full potential. The integration of large language models with internet services and databases holds promise for creating personalized AI assistants in the future. In a lighter note, France is preparing to open the Site International de la Langue Française, a center dedicated to the French language and francophonie. The Château de Villers-Cotterêts, where French became the country's official language, will be transformed into a space for exhibitions, language learning, and cultural events. This initiative aims to preserve and celebrate the French language in the face of modern challenges. Lastly, scientists are embroiled in a controversy over the transport of rare fossils into space. The decision to fly ancient hominin remains on a Virgin Galactic flight has been criticized as callous and unethical. Researchers are calling for stricter regulations to prevent similar incidents in the future. That wraps up our news for today. Now, I turn to you, my brilliant audience. What are your thoughts on these topics? Do you have any burning questions or insightful comments? I invite you to share your perspectives and join in the discussion. Remember, in the world of 6 degrees, every voice matters. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.